Welcome to the lecture series of automatic controls. First of all, I would like to say some words about the curriculum and about the basics which we really need in this master course. So the first thing we need is the so-called signals and systems. It is a subject usually in the bachelor studies. In signals and systems, we usually study about the signals, the analog signals, the digital signals, how we define a signal, and there are some very important signals like the Heaviside function and the Dirac delta function, and how to work with them and why these signals are so important. These are the questions that we can answer in signals part. The second is the modeling, the model and system, and in this material we are working with engineering problems, how to control an engineering process, an engineering plant, so we need to prepare a model for that. The model is typically an ordinary differential equation or a partial differential equation, but in this subject we mainly focus on ordinary differential equations. And after our model is ready and we have identified this model via real measurements, we can study the behavior of the system. There are many techniques to analyze a system. In the time domain analysis, in the frequency domain analysis, and in the Laplace transform based analysis. So these are the things we need as the first step. After this, we have two important directions. The first is called the frequency function, or we can use the transfer function. This is one major block of control. And the second is based on the state space model. In the typical bachelor degree of sciences studies, we study the different control loops. We study what the control loop is, why we need control. So there are two major directions. The first is the open loop control and the second is the closed loop control. We study some controller design methods, typically the PID controllers, it's a classical technique, and some introduction to the state feedback control for single input, single output systems. This is the typically used in the BSc curriculum. And in this subject we are talking now is for master students, and first we are going to study the state space techniques too. So we can continue the state space feedback for single input, single output system. It's a little bit a repeat of the technique of the state space techniques from the BSc studies, but it's a need to make the common language of the students. And if we know the state space technique, we can go further to optimal control. We can go further to robust control. We can go further to nonlinear control and to many other directions which we are interested in. And for these topics, I am going to give an introduction. I am going to give an introductory lecture, and if after these studies you want to use this method, you can use the literature because you have the common language to study the different textbooks and the different scientific papers if needed. So this is about the curriculum of automatic controls.